Greetings, this is James Anderson on behalf of SD Bullion. SDBullion.com is a top 5 physical precious metal dealer here in the United States. This video is a brief introductory overview of our leading Bullion IRA custodian service provider, New Direction Trust Company. There are many reasons why New Direction IRA is the custodian typically situated at the top of our suggested Bullion IRA custodian list here at SD Bullion. On our dedicated SD Bullion IRA page, there are even easy-to-use links allowing you to begin the New Direction Bullion IRA process right from our website. Since 2003, what was formerly named New Direction IRA now is called New Direction Trust Company. They've amassed some $2.2 billion in IRA account investor holdings, a large portion of which are held in various third-party professional non-bank bullion stores locations. Many of those are located here in the United States, yet there are some that are even located offshore. Both personally and professionally speaking, in my more than decade-long experience working in the physical precious metal industry, New Direction IRA has become one of the best in terms of overall quality, customer satisfaction, speed of service, and other important factors when trying to choose the right Bullion IRA custodian. Their company has always been one of the best choices among the crowd of various Bullion IRA custodians. For the majority of this introductory video, I wanted to give you a sense of the kind of due diligence required to learn about Bullion IRA custodians like New Direction IRA. The following is an organic recorded phone call I made yesterday, June 13, 2019. My intention was to simply let you hear the experience of calling their service agents on the phone and to learn a bit about the Bullion IRA process from their staff. I believe you'll agree it's often a sign of a quality company when those on the front service lines, especially in this case a staff member with only some 6 months on the job, are well trained and ready to answer common questions pertaining to Bullion IRAs and other related individual retirement account investment options. So here's the recording for my call to New Direction IRA. Have a listen.
Thank you for calling New Direction Trust Company. This is Toriana. How can I help you?
Hey Toriana, this is James Anderson calling on behalf of SD Bullion and potential future customers of ours. There's a lot of people who don't know much about IRAs, and I was hoping to do a little bit of research on my own firsthand and maybe talk to someone over at New Direction Trust about the services that you guys provide people.
Sure. Let me see. Do you have any specific questions, or you just want to kind of an overview of how the account opening process and everything works?
I'll have specific questions, but let's start with the overview.
Okay, perfect. And also, if I can get an email from you, I can go ahead and send all this information to you as well after we get off the phone. What is a good email address for you?
It's james@sdbullion.com.
Okay, perfect. So after we do get off the phone, I will go ahead and send pretty much all the information that I would send to a prospective client if they were asking about getting set up with us. Let me take a look here and just pull up some information. So for opening a new account, the first thing that someone would need to do is just fill out the application. That can be done online or as a paper application, and that can be faxed or emailed back to us. That account opening application form, that will come with a one-time account opening fee of $50. That just covers doing a background check, making sure that it is who they say they are, and that process is usually just about 1 or 2 days. If you do the online application, you will receive an account number right away, which will let you go ahead and log into your online portal. And then let's see. So from there, once the account is actually established, the next form that the client would need to fill out would be a fee schedule. This would just go over all of the normal fees that happen over the course of the account, which would be the annual account administration fee, which is currently $75 for any account open or up to $100,000 in value, and $125 for any account above $100,000 in value. And that is just for bookkeeping and reporting to the IRS. And then any other fees associated with the account will just be transaction fees, essentially. There will be wire fees along with that whenever a client were to make a purchase or a sale to a dealer. And then the other big fee would be for their depository, which that is separate from us, as the client is allowed to choose off of our list of depositories for where they'd like to store their metals. We store with about 15 to 20 different depositories across the country. Each one will have its own agreement. Let's see.
Oh, one question about that. Are they all domestic?
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you guys do any internationally? For instance, I think Cayman Islands perhaps, or something along those lines?
Yes, we do store with Strategic Wealth Preservation, and that is in the Cayman Islands. We also have a depository in New Zealand that we are willing to work with, as well as one in Singapore and one in Canada.
Okay, cool.
So after we have that fee schedule and, the account is fully open, then we will be able to go ahead and, fund the account. So depending on how the client is planning on doing that, most of them do come over as a transfer. They would fill out a transfer form, which we would then reach out to the current custodian and let them know that their client would like to transfer their funds over to us. All of our processing time for pretty much anything that gets sent to our office is going to be about 3 days. It can be less, but that's our cap on that. So anything that comes in, it'll be taken care of within 3 days. But that being said, that transfer will greatly depend on the speed of the resigning custodian. Sometimes those do take a while, so that would be something that you would want to keep in mind for your clients when giving them a timeline. It's pretty hard to give an accurate one without knowing what that resigning custodian's timeline is, so that would be something that they might need to reach out to them about. We'd also be able to take a rollover. That does happen fairly frequently as well. If it's not coming from an IRA account, usually if it's coming from an IRA, it will be a transfer. But like a 401k, we would usually do a rollover. Clients can also go ahead and do just a personal contribution within the limits of what the IRS does allow.
Right.
And that can be done online or, once again, with a paper form. That is, with most things other than a transfer, there is going to be an online option and a paper option, just depending on, mostly depending on the client's level of computer knowledge. Okay, and then let's see. So once that account has been funded, then we're down to the purchasing process. So for that, the client will need to fill out a buy direction letter, which that is just going to be a form that will allow us to release the funds from their account to the dealer. Then at that point, once we have that buy direction letter, they will reach out to you as their dealer and let you know that they are ready to go ahead and make a purchase and actually come to an agreement on the terms of that purchase.
Right.
Once that has happened, you will go ahead and send a purchase order over to us, which will just include, all the information for what they actually are buying. And at that point, we will be able to release those funds to you, and you will be able to send those funds over, or send the metals to the depository that your client has selected.
So I'm guessing, how long have you done this business? You've been working in this industry yourself?
About half a year.
Half a year? Okay, so you're relatively new. Have you run into some people asking, can I keep my IRA metals at home? Is that still a question that people ask?
That is definitely still a question many people ask, and we do not allow that as how we have interpreted from the IRS. That is not allowed within an IRA.
Right.
I do know that there are companies that do advertise that, but as we've interpreted the IRS's guidelines, that is not allowed within our IRAs.
Right. So anyone who actually goes down that rabbit hole may end up with some serious fines or fees later in life. But anyways, that's different.
Yes.
That's a different topic. We'll push that to the side. I just wanted to make sure that anyone out there who thinks that that's something to play with, I would suggest not. There's been other people along the way. I'll put some documentation in the blog that I'm going to write about this, about just forewarning people that it's a risk to try and do that. But the other questions I was going to ask was, as far as like right now, you've only been in it for half a year. My hunch is that you don't really understand, as far as you've seen maybe some high and low as far as demand and people calling in. I've been working in this industry for quite a while, and you guys have been around since when did you start doing precious metals in terms of a trust company for IRAs? Do you know exactly what year you started doing it?
I'm not 100% sure, but I believe right off the bat, which the company has been around since 2003.
Since 2003, okay, yeah. So it must have come a little later that you guys specialized in bullion, because it's not very common that IRA companies specialize with precious metals. So my hunch is you probably did it a little later on. But I did remember you guys coming along and becoming top in terms of the industry, at least in my experience, because of your service and your skill with automating documentation and stuff, so people could just get this stuff done online in a faster way, and with just having very transparent pricing. So kudos to you guys. I'm sure the growth has been pretty good in the last decade.
Yeah, we stay pretty busy.
Yeah, I imagine. Well, that's good. I just simply wanted to give people a little bit of an idea, I'm sure you guys record phone calls that go into your operation, and as I've recorded this phone call, I don't think that your principal, Bill Humphrey, would have any issue with everything that we talked about. I think it was all pretty standard issue. I just wanted customers or anyone listening or reading the blog to understand that it is a very high volume business. There are a lot of people, in your experience, I'm guessing you run into a lot of doctors or people who are lawyers, people who have risks in their life when it comes to their retirement funds, and they like to have them in IRAs because in a lot of states those things are totally protected from any type of lawsuit or bankruptcy proceeding. So it's always nice for some people's peace of mind to have their IRA wrapped up in a place where virtually nothing can happen to it.
Right.
Well, that's great. I appreciate you taking the time with me. And the first name again, I didn't get it.
Toriana, and I will go ahead and, like I said, send you an email. I do just want to make sure I do have that email address correct. I have james@sdbullion.com. Is that correct?
You got it, Toriana. I appreciate you taking the time.
Perfect. Yeah, not a problem. Thank you so much for your call.
Thanks.
Have a good one.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
True to her word, Miss Toriana at New Direction IRA did indeed email me with information regarding their Bullion IRA service details. Here's what she sent me only minutes after our recorded phone call. And there's a lot of content here and a lot of information. We're not going to go in too far into details here, but as you can see, it's rather thorough. As various attachments, etc., that she had sent me. As I mentioned previously in this video, our SD Bullion dedicated IRA page, you're going to find information about selecting Bullion IRA custodians. As well, we've programmed our website to work seamlessly with New Direction IRA so that you can easily begin their Bullion IRA program right from our website. As you can see here, the process to begin requires a simple click and then about 4 pages of your information to be filled out for New Direction IRA to start. As well, you can also learn about some of the different options for investments with New Direction IRA. There's other things aside from Bullion, as well as the different types between traditional IRAs or Roth IRAs, etc. On our free SD Bullion blog page, we've written about how to perform some proper due diligence when considering various Bullion IRA providers and the bullion dealers who work with them. There's some common sense, certain checklists to follow, and pitfalls to always avoid. As well, we've gone to great lengths exploring some of the very unique advantages that Bullion IRAs offer professionals saving for retirement. Not only is a Bullion IRA a vehicle for retirement savings with special tax benefits, but it also can give professionals protection from things like lawsuits or bankruptcies and other actions which could lose someone their retirement savings if not guarded precisely well within the right jurisdictions. Of course, we're not legal advisors here, so contact your estate planning professional to learn more about Bullion IRA legal protections in your specific state of the union. In the show and blog notes for this video, I will also backlink these articles that we're showing you on the screen now for your further research and due diligence. In terms of Bullion IRA options in our industry, New Direction IRA, and now called New Direction Trust Company, they're perhaps the first custodian you should start with when considering whom to be the custodian of your precious nest egg. As well, mathematically speaking, having a prudent bullion investment allocation with your long-term retirement savings plan, it makes proven back-tested mathematical sense, especially in a world of record debt levels and rampant fiat currency creation. We believe the facts prove that physical bullion should always be a prudent bedrock in any well-diversified investment portfolio. At SD Bullion, our friendly, well-trained service staff can help you with any questions you might have about Bullion IRAs, especially when you're considering which physical precious metal coins, bars, or rounds that qualify for Bullion IRAs, or which of them might make the most sense for you given your specific bullion buying objectives. Thanks for visiting us here at SD Bullion, and be sure to subscribe to our official YouTube channel for more bullion-specific research and educational information.